Hello and welcome. My name is Joseph Deras, and what you have in front of you right now is my Pothole app. This app was created using Express and rendered using handlebars. A quick rundown of my app. This is the home page. As of right now, we have 0 reports to be reported. If I wanted to report a pothole that's in my area, all I would do would go to add reports. This shows the report, and I would be able to type in where exactly this pothole is. So for example, I would put pothole in front of GA building. And as you can see, this report is created and it is rendered on my home page. The timestamp is Wednesday, March 13th, and it has 0 comments at the moment. One cool feature of my Pothole app is that not only can you create reports, but you can update with comments. So, for example, say I'm a citizen of Washington, D.C., and someone created this pothole report. I wanted to ask a question or even leave a comment just in general. Let's say another one. There are tons of potholes in this area. So now the person that created this pothole report can now see that somebody asked another one. So maybe they may be referring to, maybe there's multiple potholes in front of the GA building. As you can see, there's one comment right here, and that is the one we just created. So say this gets fixed. Pothole. Now the person that created this report can now see that there's 2 comments and that there is a fixed pothole apparently in the front of the building. So now, if you would like, you could go ahead and delete this report and go back to our home screen, which we're already on, sorry. You would see that there's no reports. So let's go ahead and just leave that pothole in front of GA. Right. So there's our report. I think this will be very useful because, commuting into the city of Washington, D.C., or, honestly, just about anywhere, there will be many potholes in the streets. This is something that we can't really get away from. So I think it is a huge necessity out there that, people can report these things and give people another heads up of where exactly they're at, if there's any updates on it, and so on and so forth. Going into the code, I want to show you some things that I'm actually pretty proud of. So while creating this app, I embedded comments into the reports. So it's essentially a partial. A partial means that you'll be able to see the reports and the comments at the same time. This was actually pretty hard, as some of the resources going into this project, they didn't necessarily explain how this was done. So by putting this in, I was able to implement it right here in my models, then follow it into my controllers, which I made a new create method, and I was able to add that and render it into my my views folder using handlebars. So this took a lot of back and forth, adding code, console logging, just to find out exactly where some of these functions and what was getting hit with like all of my variables and so forth. So yes, I am actually pretty proud of that. This was something that took quite a long time. One thing that I would change from all of my code and my app, well actually just the code, is as you can see right now, I have an extension on VS Code called bracket pairs. And what that does is that you can see throughout my code that all these brackets have different colors. There's not much brackets over there. So these brackets have different colors, and it's telling me that this is the open of the bracket and this is the close. So I did not have this going into the project. I actually just installed this extension. One thing I definitely would change is going into this project would be to install it beforehand. As you can see, this bracket connects with this yellow line all the way down to this bracket, meaning it opens up there, closes down here. It makes my life a lot more easier just to be able to see where this opens or where this closes, and you won't be able to get confused because it would let you know that this bracket does not have a closing bracket, and it can throw an error if it does, and completely crash your application. So yes, going forward, one thing I would change would be starting from the beginning using bracket pairing, and honestly, just finding more extensions that would make my life a little easier. I'm fairly new to VS Code, and I know that there's a ton of extensions that will eventually help me write code easier and be able to honestly just make my life easier while doing that. In the future, I would like to add a function that when you open up this pothole report, you'll be able to see some sort of map and pin icon that users can come and actually pin the exact location. I'm assuming that this would be implemented with some sort of API. But yes, in the future, my goal is to update this app and continue to adding more features, and one feature would be the map and pin icon. I think that would make that would allow users to see more information exactly where these potholes are at, and eventually hopefully helping people out there that are on the lookout for these potholes. So yes, in the future I would like to add that, but as of right now, I think the information that is rendered and given to anybody that's in this area, specifically Washington D.C., will be able to find help using my application. Well, that's about it, but I thank you for your time, and I hope that somebody could eventually find good use out of my application. Thank you.